It's time for Recipe of the Day. Okay, we all know it's true. Ground turkey can be dry, and sometimes it's not dry, but it's like spongy or gummy, you know what I mean? And that's just not appealing. I know I use ground turkey in a lot of things. I love it in turkey burgers. I will link to my great turkey burger recipe and turkey meatloaf. That turkey meatloaf is amazing. Those things are really good and they turn out really nice. What I'm talking about more is when you're using ground turkey like fried loose to put into a spaghetti sauce or into tacos or something like that. That's when it can be dry and or spongy, and we want to avoid that. And I have figured out how. So first, I'm going to be talking about ground turkey that is 80-20. That means it's 80 turkey meat and 20 fat, which means that it's a mixture of light and dark turkey meat. After I tell you about how to cook that, I'm going to tell you how to cook ground turkey breast, which is very, very lean and can be the driest of the options. I tend to not use it very often because of that, but I have found a way and it makes it super juicy and delicious. So let's start with the stuff that is labeled ground turkey, not ground turkey breast. So what you're going to do is you're going to get out a medium skillet and you're going to heat some butter over high heat, about a tablespoon. That butter is going to add that meaty flavor, and it's also adding a little bit of fat. So you're melting the butter quickly in a medium skillet over high heat, and then you're adding in your turkey, 1 pound of it, and you use a wooden spoon or some tongs to break it apart a little bit in the pan. Then sprinkle some salt and pepper over top, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. You can do any seasoning blends or anything that you like there. Just sprinkle it over top. Don't stir it. Just leave it alone and cook it undisturbed for 5 minutes. Don't touch it. What we're doing is we're trying to build some caramelization underneath, and that is going to stop that sponginess from happening, okay? Because we're actually like crisping it up a little. After those 5 minutes, then you can start flipping it and stirring it, breaking it up a little bit more until it's no longer pink anywhere. It's going to take about 6 to 7 more minutes. After that, you can use it in whatever recipe you're using it in, or store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, or freeze for up to 3 months. Okay, now let's move to that ground turkey breast. I tried a whole bunch of things. I scoured cookbooks. I looked all over the internet. I must have tried, 15 different techniques to try and make ground turkey breast juicy and meaty and not spongy, all of those things. And the thing that I liked the best was to use mushrooms. Now, I'm going to say, even if you don't like mushrooms, or if there's people in your household who don't like mushrooms, you should still give this a try because it doesn't end up tasting very mushroomy. We're finely mincing the mushrooms and then we're cooking the turkey with it. It ends up sort of bulking out the turkey, making it sort of a little bit more volume, not by much, just a little bit, but it's crucially adding a meaty flavor and some juiciness, and it makes the biggest difference. And I'll just say that you can do this with the ground turkey, the 80-20. It works beautifully with that as well. It's just not as necessary, but it is really necessary that you do something like this for the ground turkey breast. So you're getting out a medium skillet and you're melting 1 tablespoon of butter over high heat just until melted, and then you're adding 8 ounces of button mushrooms or cremini mushrooms that you have finely minced. The easiest way to finely mince mushrooms, in my opinion, is to slice the mushroom and then get those slices, lay them flat, and go through them in one direction and through them in the other direction. Then when all 8 ounces of the mushrooms have had that done to them, run your knife through it in both directions a couple more times. You really, really want them tiny. So you add those minced mushrooms to the skillet, give it a stir, and cook until they just start to brown. It takes like 6 to 8 minutes. And it takes that long because the mushrooms like to absorb the liquid and then kind of let it out. And so they're like a little bit watery, and that's why it takes a little bit longer. If you notice that they're starting to brown before that, you can stop at that point. It's just that your stove's a little hotter, or maybe your skillet conducts heat a little bit better. So as soon as they start to brown, you're stopping. Then that is when you're adding your 1 pound of ground turkey breast. Season it up with some salt and pepper, and then use a spoon or tongs to break the turkey apart in the pan. And then just like before, cook it undisturbed for 5 minutes. We're building that little bit of caramelization on the bottom. After that, you can use a spoon or some tongs to break it into crumbles, flip it, stir it, and then keep cooking and stirring occasionally until it's no longer pink anywhere. It's going to take, 5 to 7 more minutes. Right away, transfer it out of that pan so that it stops cooking. Use it immediately or store it in an airtight container in the fridge for 3 days or freeze it for 3 months. There you have it. No more dry ground turkey or turkey breast. No more spongy ground turkey or turkey breast. I've got you. This is going to be a game changer. I know it. Okay, I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date. So it's helpful to know that today is May 6th of 2025. And if you love my recipes and all of my cooking ideas, make sure you're following me on social media. I'm Cook the Story everywhere that I play out in that world. That is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Pinterest for sure. Find me over there, Cook the Story. I have tons of delicious recipes shared over there all the time, videos, pictures, reviews. You will be inspired over there all the time. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.